Now next is dependent and independent events we have to distinguish. Now what is an independent event? An independent event is independent events are those events where the occurrence of one event has no impact whatsoever on the occurrence of other events. So think about, let's say you have two events A and B. Okay, it does not matter whether A happens or not. Okay, it does not have any impact on the occurrence of B. So then in this case we'll say that A and B are independent events. Okay, note that to prove that A and B are independent events, we have to be very sure that yes, these two are independent. Now how you can make it sure? So we have seen that probability of A given B. What is this? Probability that event A will occur given that event B has occurred, right? So this is your probability of A given B. Okay, now suppose this comes as 0.2, and then unconditional probability of A also comes as 0.2. Now what it means? It means that probability of A given B is equal to the unconditional probability of A. So conditional probability of A, it is equal to the unconditional probability of A. Okay. Also it means that A is not conditional on B. Okay. However, it does not mean that A and B are independent. Why? Because it can happen that B can be conditional on A. Okay. That is, B can be dependent on A. Right. So independent means that there should be no dependency from A to B or B to A. Now suppose if B given A is equal to 0.5 and probability of B is also 0.5, it means that probability of B given A is equal to probability of B. Now you can say that it does not matter whether A occurs or not, B will be, it does not impact B. It does not matter whether B occurs or not, it does not have impact on A. So if these two conditions are true, then only we can say that two events are independent event. Otherwise we will not be able to say that two events are independent events. Okay, so if these above conditions is not satisfied, then the events are dependent event. What is a dependent event? Dependent events are those events wherein occurrence of one event has an impact on other event. Think about, let's say, in case of a selection of in a football match. Okay, the selection of a goalkeeper. Okay. Now let's say there are two goalkeepers in the team. Now in case of goalkeeper, only one goalkeeper has to be selected. Either you select A or you select B. If you select A, then you are not going to select B. Okay, right? It means that these are mutually exclusive events, and also that it is dependent, right? If this happens, then this does not happen. If this happens, then it does not happen. Right? So these are independent. These are dependent events. Now there can be an example of independent events wherein you are selecting forwards. Now let's say suppose the team is playing with 4 forwards. Okay. Now the choice of, let's say, and there are like 5 forwards in the team. The choice of one forward is not related to the choice of other forward, assuming no strategy etc. is in place. So whatever the coach has to select one player out of 5. Right? It does not matter that if A gets selected, it does not mean that B will not get selected or B will get selected. In reality it may be the case, but ideally we can say that these are pretty much dependent events. Okay, independent events, sorry. So dependent events wherein there is relationship, okay, between A and B. Independent events means there is no relationship between A and